When this name comes up for people of a certain age, and I'm gonna mention this very quickly. People question my comments about baseball. Certain players injured in their career, and they were expected to hit quite a few home runs and never did it. There's many examples. It's not me coming up with this. A lot of media talks about it now. There was a former subscriber to the channel questioned the fact that a certain San Diego Padre player, Nate Colbert, could have hit 400 or 500 home runs if he wouldn't have been so injured. That's the reality of the situation. This is the white version of Nate Colbert, and if you've never heard of this guy before, if you're a Montreal Expo fan, you definitely know who this guy is. Probably the best college prospect of his era, and destined for greatness from talking about the big drink of water, James Robert Horner, of course, Bob Horner. Now, he played a majority of his MLB career with the Braves, mostly a third, but who later transitioned to a first baseman, as he was hampered by injuries very severe for most of his playing career. He also played one season in the Nippon Professional Baseball League in Japan as a member of the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. Now, his legendary road to Major League Baseball is well known for all the Braves fans, but we'll go over it for people who may not know. He was born in Arizona, attending the great Apollo High School, where he set school records. His college career at Arizona State University led to him being named the first winner of the Golden Spikes Award. With his 9 home runs in '76, he is tied with Ike Davis, 2006, for third all-time by Sun Devil freshman, 2 behind, of all people, Barry Bonds. Now, he was a second baseman for TSN's College All-America team, the Sporting News, not the Canadian network, in '77 and '78. He set a then NCAA record of 58 career home runs for AS, set a 25-homer single-season record, and was selected MVP of the 1977 College World Series. Now, he was drafted by Atlanta with the first overall pick in the '78 amateur draft, and he made his Major League Baseball debut the same year. I remember when he broke in. We used to get the Braves games against Montreal on a regular basis in the summer, and boys, he impressed us all in Canada. A very, very good contact hitter, kind of like Alejandro Kirk, but a little bit better shape. But like I said, a big drink of water. Very, very strong guy. He is only one of a handful of players to go directly from college to the starting lineup in the majors without spending one day in the minor leagues. Now, in his first game, he belted a home run off future Hall of Fame pitcher Bert Blyleven, but still very impressive. Now, he batted .266 in 89 games with 23 homers and 63 ribbies in 323 at-bats, with an on-base percentage of .313 and a slugging percentage of .539. His 23 home runs led all National League third basemen in 1978. He won the National League Rookie of the Year honor over, get this, the Padres' Ozzie Smith. Now, in '79, Horner always hit for power. He batted .314 with 33 homers and 98 RBIs. In 1980, he batted .268 with 35 homers and 89 RBIs, despite being sidelined for a total of 79 games in both seasons. Leg injuries. I think in 2022, with rehabilitation, he probably wouldn't have been out as much. Now, in the strike-shortened '81 campaign, hit .277 with 15 homers and 42 RBIs in 79 games. Now, rejuvenated in 1982, and he was a Montreal killer in a lot of those games. He finished with 32 homers, 97 RBIs, and on-base percentage of .350 while slugging .501. Now, in August '83, Horner was hitting .303 with 20 homers and a career-high OPB of .383 when he fractured his right wrist sliding, missing the last 43 games of the campaign. In May '84, Horner broke his left wrist while diving after a ball, and he was sidelined for the rest of the season. Now, in 1985, he played 130 games and finished with a .267 batting average, 27 homers, and 89 RBIs. In '86, he set personal highlights. On July 6, '86, 5 days after Canada Day, in a contest against the Expos, he became the 11th player in Major League Baseball history to hit 4 homers in a single game, and the only second one to do so in a game that his team lost. The first one being Ed Delahanty. I watched that game, and he could have hit 5, ladies and gentlemen. He was just hot that game. Now, later in the season, after hitting a record 210 career home runs without a grand slam, he finally belted the base clear to give the Braves a 4-2 victory over longtime rivals the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hoerner's record for homers without a grand slam stood until '98, when Sammy Sosa surpassed the mark by hitting his first grand slam on a 248 home run of his career. Now, when he became a free agent in '87, after his first season of more than 500 at-bats, Hoerner was still near his peak, but the major league clubs at the time were then colluding to drive down salaries, so no offers were made to Hoerner, whose asking price was $2 million. Now, Montreal could have easily paid $2 million for him, or the Blue Jays, but again, it was in collusion. In 2004, Hoerner won a lawsuit, getting more than $7 million from the successful, again, lawsuit several players filed against the owners and about their illegal collusion. After failing to reach an agreement with an MLB club, he signed a $2 million one-year contract with, again, Japan Central League. He was given number 50 by organization because that was the number of home runs they expected him to hit. He did end up hitting 31 and had 73 RBIs for the team. Now, despite Yakult offering Hoerner a reported $10 million for a new 3-year contract, he did so with the St. Louis Cardinals. After 60 games, he injured his left shoulder. After being invited to spring training by the Orioles in '89, Hoerner decided to announce his retirement. Now, his 10-year major league career, when he battled injuries every campaign, losing anywhere from 40 to 70 games, he batted .277 with 218 home runs, 685 RBIs, 560 runs, 1,047 hits, 169 doubles, 8 triples, 14 stolen bases, 340 on-base percentage, and a .499 slugging average in 1,020 games. Defensively, in 684 games at third base, he had a .946 fielding percentage. 30 games at first, he posted a .994 fielding percentage. Overall, his career fielding percentage was .977. Now, on America's big day, July 4, 2006, he was inducted in the College Baseball Hall of Fame as a member of its inaugural class. Now, Bob Hoerner, the parallels are quite major here. He could hit for average. He's a good teammate, very decent guy. He had aspects of a lot of players, and let's break it down for you. Johnny Bench, for sure. A little bit of the Joe Carter in him. Hit for power, hit for average. Vladimir Guerrero Sr. and Jr., there's a lot of Hoerner in both those players because he knew where the plate was. Arizona State had a very, very interesting program where ball contact was very important. That was taught by the coaches and the managers there. Now, the Braves had a very interesting setup because Dale Murphy, good pitching staff, won the '82 NL East crown, but playing against Montreal, playing against the Mets, playing against the Cardinals, that was the hottest division at the time, although the AL East was strong later on in the mid-1980s. And Daniel Bowden of one of the followers of the channel mentioned about the Blue Jays winning in '93, but '92 is more important. I know for a fact that Dave Van Horn, or whatever Canadian announcers were working, it could have been, I don't know, Atlanta could have won the '92 with Hoerner in their lineup if it was only 14 years later. I know it sounds weird, but let's say he was a nice, decent, platoon player, 20 home runs. He could have been the difference. The people who are coming off the bench for Atlanta couldn't hit a home run to save their life. I mean, I think the collusion, it made him so disgruntled because, I mean, holy freak, $2 million now, you can get a, $2 million contract to sell cookies, at Walmart. I mean, $2 million is nothing now. But back then, it was considered big money. Like we're doing here with our baseball podcast, let us know what to like, comment, subscribe. And don't forget, baseball is not the game it should be in certain ways, because certain players get injured, certain players fade away, certain players can't find the plate. But you look at the Blue Jays, right? This is a team without injuries. They would not be the successful team they are, although Gurriel and Kirk has been out lately and Teoscar early in the season. You cannot have injuries. Who knows what a Hoerner would have done? 35 homers a year for 12 years, that's 410. And anybody tells me that Nate Colbert is not the black version of Because Nate Colbert, he did things with his home run hitting that haven't been seen since. Same things with Bob Horner. Although Mike Trout and Guerrero and a few others that can hit 3, Bob Horner was damage every night. And when he was on, like I said, one of the most dangerous hitters, power and average, And he was a quiet leader, too. I mean, the Braves did a lot with him. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. And don't forget, if you are at the plate, if you need somebody to get you a hit in the mid-1980s, Bob Horner was your guy.